Okay, hi, it's Dave Johnston here with Day Trade the Markets, and as you can see, I've got a trade on here. I entered just a short time ago, had to take a phone call, so wasn't able to start the video until right now, but we had been looking at, by the way, today is Friday, May 31st, and the times that you see down here are my times, which is West Coast, so Pacific time here, so 3 hours obviously ahead if you want to translate it into Eastern time. So we had a webinar for our members this morning. I'm just going to backtrack this chart just a little bit here. You can see that we had a really nice up movement here. I'll just get out this arrow and take a look at it. The market had an earlier up move and consolidated, and then from this level here had a really nice run higher and ended up all the way up to here. The earlier high that the market had produced, I believe, was right in here at 53.75. We were thinking that that would hold, and it did for a while, as you can see in this time period here, but then it broke down. So we were anticipating, potential support in around this area here, approximately 49. And so what ended up by happening here is that and I'll just go ahead and mark in that that price at around 49 here. So you can take a look at it right there. So you can see it did hit 49. It had a nice bounce. This would be approximately between 12 and 12:30 Eastern time, between 9 and 9:30 my time. It hit the 49 and had a nice bounce. So we're thinking, okay, good. What's it going to do when it hits this bar right here? Let me move this down here a little bit. This bar right here, what's the market likely going to do? Because that's very strong selling right there. And the market came up and hit it almost to the tick on the high, and then started to sell off. So that good selling that broke through that higher level at 53.75 was pretty strong selling. Came down to the support 49 and bounced up, and could not move above there. So what ended up by happening here, and what got me into the market, was when the market had come down here and hit the 49 level again. Didn't go through it, but then came up and gave a nice level 1 selling bar right here that had its high taken out. That's this bar right here. So I went ahead and got short right away. As soon as its low was taken out, put a limit order in to get short at the low of that bar. Didn't get filled right away. It bounced up on this green bar, and then I got filled with a stop just above that bar, because here's a market that is the other thing I like about this little green trigger bar that I ended up by using was that the price hadn't traded there for approximately, I don't know, I think it's 13 minutes. So that's pretty good. It's not a great period of time. I like to see more, but not bad. So it did stick out, and then it had its low taken out. So got short there, as you can see with the 8 contracts. And the market has come down nicely. So I'm going to go ahead. I've been yammering away here and on the phone and that. I really need to put my stop in here at, I'm going to put it at 49.50 for now. So I'll just put a buy stop in there.
Order
I've got 8 in
pending.
there, so I need to adjust that. I'll put the 8 in there for now.
Order
I
pending.
really should be taking some profit here. It has moved from 50 down to 46.5. That's 3.5 points. So I'm going to have to take some profits here. So I'm going to put in a buy limit.
Order
I should have
pending.
already had this in, but I kind of got busy here.
Order
So I'm going
pending.
to put that in here. And this low was taken out. It should come back down and test into here. So I'm going to, I'm short at, I'll put that at 47.50. We're short at 50, so I'll exit half the position there at approximately a couple of points. I mean, that's really what my first objective usually is anyway. So 2 points. So I've got it at 2.5. I'm just going to raise it up and get out of this trade right here, or not get out of it, but I'm going to take half my
Order
position
filled.
there, out of half of the position there. Not usually the way I like to trade it, but we did get the 2 points. So just got the 4 left, and I'm just going to leave this stop in here, one tick above this selling leveled 2 aggressive paint bar. Just the stop is just a couple of ticks to the good there. So I'm going to let this run a little bit more. This is the top of the bar here I'm utilizing for the placement of my stop. I do think that there's a possibility that this market could get down into about the 40 area, 1640. I think it does have that potential. Um, who knows if it's going to do it, but we'll just wait and see for now. So that's kind of my initial rundown on this particular trade, and rather than just yammering away here and watching the market, I'm going to put this video on pause, and when we've got a new development, change the. As a matter of fact, this stop right here. Now, a lot of times, just realize this: we've got these. Oftentimes, we'll get a move down like this, and a bounce up that decelerates. And if that bar gets taken out, the high right there, if that bar gets taken out, it usually means that the selling has subsided and we actually do have some buying in place. So a stop just above 48.50. I'm going to lower this stop to 48.75. So it's fairly tight. And it's locking in a point and a quarter. We've made 2 points on half the position. And we'll just leave that there for now with a stop at 48.75. And as the market develops, I'll restart the video. So I'm going to put it on pause for now. Okay, I've resumed the video here. You can see that over the past several minutes the market has continued down. And so I'm going to adjust this stop here. The 45 level has been an area of support. And so what I'm going to do here is go ahead and take profits in one half of what I have left.
Order
so
pending.
Just in a couple of the contracts, I've just got the 4 left. We'll leave that at, see, we're short at 50, supported around 45. So yeah, we'll put it in here and see if we can get filled here at seems to be bouncing a bit, but we'll leave that in there at 46. That's a good place for us to take partial profits, thinking that the 45 area was going to get hit.
Order filled.
Get filled on that. So we're just down to 2 contracts now. So 2 points on the first 4 and 4 points on the second 2. So now I'm going to adjust this stop here.
Order canceled.
We just got the 2 contracts left, so we do have a nice selling magenta bar here. I'll place a stop just a couple of ticks above that, the high of that bar, as you can see, at 46.50. So I'm going to lower the stop down there to 47, just 2 ticks above that selling level 3 bar, which is in our software, that magenta bar that you see right there. So locking in 3 points here on the final 1/4 of the position of final 2 contracts. This is the bar I'm talking about. There's the high right there. You can see that, and then the stop is just 2 ticks above it. So it might have a bounce here because we knew that the 44-45 area was a likely area of support, and of course the day's low, the early low of the day is at 45.50. So there could be a bit of a bounce here, although I'm still of the view that we could very well come down and hit into that 40 area. But should we just make 1 or 2 tick new low here and then turn around, who knows, that might be it. So and we're just a tick away from getting stopped. So we'll just have to monitor this. And while it's so close to the stop price, I suppose we'll just let the video run here for a moment. Don't want to make this video too long, but it's very close to being stopped out. So we'll give it 1 more minute here and see if we do, and then I'll pause the video. Okay, things are looking still pretty good. I've got the stop in there, and I'll just go ahead and put it on pause again. Okay, I've resumed the recording here. You can see it's looking good. We're continuing to get some follow through lower. We just had a couple of level 1 selling bars, and to keep the stop fairly tight, and now that it's moving pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stop to just a couple of ticks above the high of this lower selling bar. So I'm going to bring it down here to 45.50. So just a couple of ticks above the high of this bar right here. It's kind of doing it tight, but um, sometimes these markets will, of course, dip into unfriendly territory and skedaddle out of there very quickly. And if the market does that, at least we're going to still capture a nice move here rather than just letting that stop remain up there above 47 or 46.75, 47 area, which is where we just had it. So we'll just pause once again. Okay, you can just see that the market took a bounce up here, formed a level 1 buying bar, already had its low taken out. So our stop, I think, is in a good spot, just 2 ticks above the high of that buying bar right there. Also 2 ticks above the high of this selling one. So I think it's in a good spot, and we'll just see what we can now get. So I'll pause it again. Okay, just resume the video here. It's continuing lower. We do have another selling level 1 paint bar here. So I'm going to go ahead once again and adjust the stop to a couple of ticks above that bar's high. So that brings the stop now down to buy stop at 44.25. So we do have an objective down here of around 1640. So what I should probably do is at least put a buy in there at 40.50. Let's see, we'll put
Order
that in
pending.
just so that we've got it, and should the market spike down there, at least we'll get filled on the one, and we of course have our stop in place here should the market give us a bit of a bounce. So everything's looking pretty good. Just to reiterate on the entry here, I actually use this bar right up here, this buying paint bar. I like to enter trades, not always, but on rejection of what I think the direction is. So in other words, if I think the market is going lower, then I will look to identify a buying paint bar, and as soon as its low gets taken out, I enter, because that's given me the actual trigger. This way too, I can place my stop just a tick or two above it. So I ended up, once the low of this bar had its low taken out, the low was at 50. So as soon as it had it taken out, I put a limit order in to get short at 50, and then my stop is 2 ticks above the high of that bar at 51.50. So I had a 6-tick stop on this trade, because just put that line there, because my initial stop was right up here at 51.50, which is 6 ticks above the entry at 50 even. So it's come right back up to the top of that selling level 1 bar. So we'll have to watch this here. We're just a couple of ticks from our stop, but okay, the market had just formed a buying deceleration bar. So that, as you can see, as the market has worked its way lower, and I'll just move this like this. As you can see, all of these, every time the market was bought up, not that one, but this one here, this one, this one, this one had its high taken out by a tick. So whenever the market has a surge of buying that decelerates, it has been turning around. It might take out the high of that bar by a tick, but then it just seems to turn around and keep selling off. So we're continuing with the seller control. So good way way to monitor the market, to get a better feel as to who's really in control. Um, don't want to make the video too long, so I'll go ahead and pause it again. Okay, just resume the video again. You can see we have another little bit of selling going on here. We formed a level 2 selling bar. Haven't gotten quite down to the 40-50 level, which is where that buy limit is. But with this new strong selling bar, I'm once again going to adjust the stop, and I'll put it 2 ticks above the high of that level 2 selling bar. So our stop now is at 43.25 buy stop. Okay, you can see that we've had another little bit of selling here. Not a lot, but another level 1 selling bar. So the high of that is right here at 42.25. So I could adjust the stop to a couple of ticks above that, and that would take me at 42.75, which is the exact high of the level 2 stronger selling bar. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to leave the stop where it is for now, for the sake of 2 ticks. We've come within 2 ticks of our objective here at 40.50. It hit 41 on the dot. For those reasons, I'm just going to go ahead and leave the stop where it is, and hopefully we'll get at least a little bit more selling, and be able to buy back one of the remaining 2 contracts here in a minute or two. As you can see, that's this previous bar right here has a dot on top of it. That's divergence. So there's more selling in that bar than buying. So I will go ahead and pause the video just for the sake of the overall length of this recording. Okay, we've just been filled on that 40.50 price. As you can see, it just hit 40.25. So we just have the 1 contract left now. So I will adjust the stop. I'm going to bring this down a little bit lower. I think maybe I'll just leave it where it is, come to think of it. It's a couple ticks above the most, or the strongest recent bar, which is that level 2 selling bar right here, this one right here. So the market could certainly kind of move back and forth in that general area. So we just have the 1 contract left, so we'll just leave it like that for now. And I will put it on pause again. Okay, as you can see, there's no order left. We just got stopped out at 43.25 right here on that last contract that we had. So knowing that level that we had down here, we knew that the 40 area was potential support. So and a fairly important support, as I was saying towards the start of this video, that we're thinking that if the market could get down below the 49 or so area, it could have a run down to 40, and so that worked out pretty well. So we were stopped at 43.25. We were short at 50, so that was 6 3/4 points on the final contract. So just as a quick synopsis here, what did we do? Well, let's see. On this particular trade, let's just put it in here. We had 2 points on half the position, so that's equal to 8 points there. And then we had 4 points on 2 contracts, so that was 8 points on that. And then we got out there in that nice exit at 40.50. We were short at 50, so that was 9.5 points, but just on the one contract, so that's 9.5. And then on that last one, we had 6 3/4 times just the one contract. So obviously that's 6.75. So what does that total up to? 16, 25, 31, 32 1/4. So 32 1/4 points. That was trading 8 contracts on that trade. So just just to give you a rundown that I think when making these trades, what we have found, and we're doing it with the members today live, is that if we can make sense of what we think the condition of the market is, then if it moves in what the expected manner is, then we can follow it and make sense of it. Even if it doesn't move in the expected manner, it gives us also an opportunity. So when we had the good containment very early in the day, from approximately 54 down at 46, it broke higher, but then it came back in, and it started that rally from around 49, 40, 50, 49, depending on how you want to measure it. And so when the market came down and tested in that area, had one bounce and came right back into it, and that's when I actually entered that trade, as I was explaining, using this particular bar right here as the trigger bar. So it's really just a combination of understanding the current condition of the market, what cycle of the auction is it in, and is it breaking from that area or not, and is it doing it with the kind of conviction that means you can go with that kind of trade. And so that's really the kind of trade that worked out today on this example. So any questions or anything like that, you can contact us, obviously. We're happy to hear from you. info@daytradethemarkets.com. So that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching this live trade. Info@daytradethemarkets.com. And get a hold of us if you got any questions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.